So good afternoon guys, it's a 4:05 p.m. Today is Tuesday and so I'm back from my break time, vacation. So last Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday, 5 days I was off. So that's why you didn't see any notes or videos, So today was the first day after the break. So now this week is all about earnings and FOMC. So this is the earnings statement, right, since last 2 months now. So I'm keeping it. So that's the bigger statement that hey, buyers are in control in general. Okay, now price is not going anywhere until all the big earning information is out. Equal to day trading can be a choppier kind with one good swing. So during the day it will be choppier, but you will get one swing out of it and then it will do again die down, like choppy. So in a way you can trade both ways if you want to, but you have to like keep an eye on both the indexes. You will see index divergences a lot, So best way to trade to get out with few points and call it a day off, till this Friday. So till Friday you can do this in and out, So today is all about after market close, Microsoft and Alphabet earning. Yes, 1995 and 6065 are the key levels to watch during this week. You will get trade around those levels. Anything else in between these two areas equal to garbage. For NQ, follow lines and do line to line trading. Preferred and backup areas are important. Trim numbers are also important as usual. 594, 579. So with this you can see here that's the dream number 579 right here. See, opening low, touched it, go. 594, that was a second dream number, so it touched it, went down, then touched the second one and went through it both, then it just stayed above it, right? So usual statement is above dream number buyers, below dream number sellers. That's a common theme, for dream number perspective. But here you can see it, NQ had a failed breakdown right below this area, right of the open. ES was right of the open, right around here, came poked below it and went up like this, right of the open, right? But there was a bearish disconnect in here, there was a bearish disconnect. AD was negative when it touched the closing, so mild bearish disconnect was there, and we are not supposed to trade within this area, right, because it's a garbage area. So even though there was a failed breakdown which was confirmed later on, right, of the open, there was no trade. Yes, there was an open dry, right? So yes, there was no trade, as I strictly said that in between it's a garbage, so it's a do your own risk trade. Once it is out or around this area into this area, there will be a trade here, right? There was a short here, but ES being ES, slow mover, you can't take a short in ES, but you can expect ES to react, and based on that you can trade in NQ, So whoever went long here, they are targeting this area. Before the news, 10 a.m. there was a news, right? So before the news they were targeting this. Right at the news time, it touched there. That's it. That was this trade ends right there, this long, right? Whatever happens after, that is a fresh price action. After that you have to view it, okay? So I'm going to put a vertical line here, so at least you will know. This is at 10 o'clock news time, right? So from here to here, that was this trade, right, which we didn't take it, okay? Now here we have to assume somebody is going to take a profit before the news, and then whatever happens after, it's all news driven, and then you have to watch if you want to trade it, right? So I'm going to zoom it here. This was a preferred sellers area, by the way, right? So ideal trade would be around this level, right? So this level is 90 to 95. to 95, right? So this was a news time right here, correct? So it touched it, came down, touched it, came down, held it, this 85. That is what I said in real time, that 85 and 82 are the levels, So here held it, here there was a breakout, right? So right here. So now at this point onwards, now you know ES is refusing to go down here. See that here, first time 85, second time it failed to hold below it, then it poked higher, then again it failed, then it again got rejection, then finally it took out. At this point ES was pointing higher up, after this point onwards. Okay, so after lunchtime, 12 o'clock onwards. Now, so that is the story for ES, right? So then you can take a long in ES above this area or into this area, but you have to watch it, right? Because then you have to come up with a line in sand that, hey, now it broke out. See here, this was a morning high area, right? Before the news, this was a Globex high, right? And this was a news driven high. So first time it responded here, then during news time it responded, couldn't go lower, right? Then again it tried it, again went lower, it couldn't go lower, again it tried it, it couldn't go lower. After the news, right? So now you are watching all this thing. After the news, one trial, second trial, third trial, right? Now you know that if it breaks out, it better holds above it, right? Because then there is no fail breakout at that point, because now it is breaking out. It already tried it, right? But here there is no fail breakout here up to this point, but there was a fail breakdown. So you have to make a note of it that yes, here there was a fail breakdown and failed attempt to go lower below 85, right? Then here again, then you see this at this point, onwards, price should hold these lines all the way up to this, all of this line, 1, 2, at least this and this. And if price pulls back, it has to hold it. So here you can see it right here, it held it, right? So but since you don't know whether it's going to hold it or not, right? So you have to wait. Price went higher, fine, that's your confirmation. Now what? Now you want to see a breakout above this and pull back, or you want to see a rejection again and price holding it, that's your sign. So here down, down, couldn't go lower, again bounced, bounce, bounce, right? Now it went again above this area, see, like this. At this point you are ready to go long, right here. Okay, this was around 12:45. See, NQ, if you look at it, 12:45 right here. See this long, that's a morning 650 area, which we discuss in Discord, and that's where I shorted it, 650 and 670, both of them. Why? Because of during the news time, right before the news time and at the news time. Why? Because I was expecting people to take a profit for this, and then either before the news, right at the news, and then whatever happens, we have to watch it. So the lower support, basically, the way it went higher, it created some support intraday, which was 85 and 82. So at least it has to break below 85 and hold it for sellers from here. If it couldn't, then it's a pullback, buyers will buy it, So up to that point, I held my NQ. So 636, that was 34, that was another level I gave it, and 606, those are the two levels, 606, 634, 650 and 670, 4 levels I gave it, during live reading. So which was right here, and you can see it actually. 606 was here, so, and then 636 was this here, 650 was here, 670 was here. See right here I said watch 670 based on a 15-second chart. I said watch 670. That's where I took the short. It was addition. 650 was my original short. I added it at 670. Why? Because ES was touching this area. So profit taking most likely going to happen. Considering Microsoft and Google news later, price is not gonna go anywhere significantly, and fail breakout can happen. And I specifically said in Discord, look for fail breakouts or fail breakdowns. So based on that idea, I played this short back to 636 and 606. So overall positions 70% was out here, rest of the 30% here and here, I was out 100%. That was my trade. That's it. Then I said, now overnight it was doing step up. After this I said, if 650 holds here, so after this when it bounced, I said 650 has to hold for sellers, otherwise buyers will come. 650 held here. Then I said, now it has to retest 636. If it goes through it, 606. Then if it bounces, it has to hold 636 or 634. So at this point it went to this. Here I took the profit. Then it went up because ES couldn't go lower. Then it went up 634. That is a short setup based on only this information so far, right? Only problem was here was ES not breaking below 85. Okay, so that's why it's a different arrow. But now price has to prove it by going down below this and lower to 594 area. If it cannot, and price let's say goes above this again, that's where buyers can, that's where this to this is a gray area. But you can try long from here to here, but it's a gray area. Above this area buyers will take control. Okay, so here see, so here you can see 637.6 was broken, right? Then it pulled back. So here in Discord I was there, I said 636, it has to hold it now since it broke above it. Here there was a 15-second base trade right here, target this. Okay, then when it pulled back here, 645, which was like this breakout point basically, for this candle. So the way it came down and held it, right, and it was chopping around here at around 1128. You can see it in ES. It was at morning high, right, which was right around here, right? So all you need was ES was breakout, right, because it failed here, right at this point. Here ES took out, right? So does NQ, correct? So at this point above this, as I already said that above this long will be active, right? So you can go long here also and target this area, right? But this was a better long, in considering risk reward and everything else. Then when price went like this in both of them, now you wait for a pullback into where? 650 area. It has to hold it now. So now it is doing step up. So now you consider this as a balance like this, pure rotation like this, 1 2, like a pullback here, held it, breakout. So now you can combine this entire as a one balance, this entire thing as a one balance, right? Then it broke out, so it has to hold this level, which it did here. See that? So that was your long during lunch time. At the same time ES was like this, right, holding it above this balance. So that was your long. Target is this high. That's it. Once it breaks above it, if it does, then it has to hold this area, which it did. Look, see, clear step pattern. Yes, same damn thing, So NQ you can trade. ES was little bit tricky, yeah, it looks easy, but it was tricky because there was so many rotations, like back and forth, and ES is a slow mover, right? So NQ was the better trade here, so you can go long here, or here, and then once it hits this area, again breakout, right, you have to take a profit here at breakouts, so like here, take a profit and then wait. Then you wait for this area like this. But the problem here is now you are running into like 3 o'clock right here, right? So you don't want to go long at 3 o'clock because 3 o'clock is the closing time officially for the stock market, right? And considering news like earnings at 4 o'clock, you don't want to mess around later, because the whole idea was here. I said, right here I said, eventually price will come back and close right at the middle of the day's range, which was around this area, and you can see the NQ's closing was right here, right? So going long here higher up near the closing time, 3 o'clock is not a good idea. That's why you don't take this trade, and you can see it closed here. Then there was this earning related information. During Microsoft earning, price went down, and then Google earning, it went up. Overall, the earning range is this. Basically entire day's range is a earning range. That's all. Price didn't achieve anything during earnings, So ES pretty much. Now ES did something differently, right? So ES earning range is this as of now, which is 90 to 05, right? So ES is technically holding above 50%. NQ is like able to go down all the way to morning low and morning high during earnings. So NQ is this range is the earning range for tomorrow. Ideally now you want to see trade above or below. In between it's a garbage. So that's how it is. So, and that's pretty much it for today. So ES really there was no trade except this. NQ had a couple of trade both ways. All you have to do is just observe those levels. 606, 636 or 634, 650, 670. That's it. So that's how we have to do it. Tomorrow also same thing. And then Thursday we may see something. But yes, this area was the key, and now going into tomorrow, this area is the key. If it holds above it, buyers, below it, sellers. Okay, and that's pretty much it for today. I'll see you tomorrow.